Good evening. My name is Jim Duncan. I live on Royal Sunset Drive in Chatham. I am the chair of the Republican Party in Chatham County. We support the efforts of our county's first responders for a monument honoring the heroic and historic efforts by fellow first responders on September 11, 2001. On that day, America and our freedoms were so viciously attacked by evil. I know you have decisions concerning the county's involvement in this matter. However, I wish to comment on what I consider to be polluted language surrounding this structure. Over the last few weeks in this room and in letters to the editor, we've heard from citizens that this monument and our responders' efforts are a piece of trash. They represent torture. They made America do evil acts. It symbolizes war and the old standard. It's Bush Cheney's fault. The language is offensive, and it's intended to offend, and it creates drama. The temptation to respond in like manner is very strong, but it's not worth it. I have spoken to people across the county. Here's what they say. Chatham citizens are honored by this award to our first responders. It represents America's resilience and liberty. It will remind us every day that first responders in Chatham County put their lives on the line. No generation should ever forget. The monument is a relic. I urge the Board of Commissioners to be sensitive to the decisions surrounding this monument. I trust you will do what is correct for our community and not be driven by the squeaky wheel that would prefer to elevate divisiveness and conflict above sacrifices made in order to keep us free. As the son of a proud New York City detective, I am proud to say that the Republican Party stands up for our first responders. Thank you.
I think this is the final item on the agenda tonight, and I'm sorry to have some of the people here wait so long, because I know that's what they're here for.
Pretty good.
But there's some discussion. Yeah, we're doing pretty good. We have some discussion to vote on the First Responders Memorial being built at 129 Sanford Road in Pittsboro. So do I have a motion?
I would move that we allow the First Responders Memorial to be built on that property. They want to build it there.
A second that.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Is there some discussion?
Yeah, I want to say a couple of things. I heard Mr. Duncan, and he was very passionate about what he said, but I've heard people on the other side who are just as passionate. I do agree that it's time that we have some sort of memorial to the first responders. I think that part is a great plan. What I would have liked to have seen us do is to take the copper from the old burned-out courthouse and to have an artist actually construct some sort of memorial that would be Chatham-centric. To the firefighters who look at the piece of steel from the 9/11, they perhaps see and recognize that they're commemorating those people who responded on that day. Other people are going to look at that memorial, and they're going to see something completely different. They're going to see a time that's very dark in our history, a time that not everyone is proud of what happened after, and it's not very Chatham-centric. To To me, one other thing, and this is really, I'm sure no one means it this way, but the terrorists themselves may see justice in having it at a justice center. They'll say we won. We have a piece of the debris from the World Trade Center on a courthouse lawn.
Happen. If you think about what we're doing, this is not about 9/11 in New York. We're talking about first responders and that band of brotherhood that they all have, that bond they have, I mean, no matter where they are. And the fact that you had people that gave their lives that day to save the lives of others. And this is what this really is all about. It's about that self-sacrifice that they gave, not about someone flying a plane into the building. It's about the individuals that stepped up to the challenge to go in there and do something for fellow man. It's about the best, in people and not the worst. And when you talk about the correlation, the Justice Center sits there. The memorial will be to the side and down below. If you talk about, well, what's the correlation? Justice, the legal system, and then you talk about law enforcement. There's a direct correlation there. First responders. I mean, it's not, it's not a real reach. But I think what they're trying to do and what they want to do is not just about a piece of steel. Because, I know that we came back with a proposal, that says, okay, well, here's the way it's going to look, without actually asking the first responders if this works for them. And I know from hearing from them that, no, they would like to see the first responders incorporated into this memorial. So it's not just about that piece of steel, but it's about the men and the women that were there that day and what they sacrificed and what they did. So I see what you're saying, Sally. You're looking at it from a totally different perspective, I think, than what these men and women from first responders see this as. They see it as something totally different. And again, it goes back to perspective. And the location being somewhere where that's land that we can't use for anything else. And there's not to say that it can't be used as a park. And there'll be other things there as well, memorials, maybe Veterans Memorial, this type of thing. So I think that it's all, again, like you say, the perspective of how you're looking at it and what the intention is. And I think that, that means everything.
I think memorial to the service of these guys and what they contribute to society is, I think we need to honor that. I don't connect the negative dots that are proposed that people talk about. And if you say the ones that crash the planes into the buildings feel like they win, I don't care what they think. We're honoring firefighters, we're honoring EMS guys, we're honoring our people, we're honoring our guys that put their lives on the lines to go in a burning building or drive up on a crash scene with a car burning or hazardous chemicals, and they're putting their lives on the line to help somebody that they don't even know. I mean, how can you deny these guys that recognition? And the pay? My Lord. I mean, it's like other civil servants. It's FBI and police and sheriff and firefighters and EMS. I mean, these guys do this because they love to serve people. They certainly don't do it for the pay. So, gosh, I forgot where we were. Did we have a motion?
There's a motion and second.
And a second. And we've had discussion.
Yeah.
So, I guess we need to call for a vote. All in favor? Aye. All opposed?
No.
Okay. 4-1.